very true. Logic is not a fair thing in 40k, yeah. Okay, so we've got a 1750 battle report for you today. I have a sort of mixed mech Eldar list, and I'm facing regular Space Marines, pardon me. So there's some squads inside there, there's some Devastator squad out there, Predator, some other stuff in there. There's some Terminators, 2 guys with Thunderhammer Storm Shields, 3 guys with Lightning Claws. What have I got here in my army? 2 units of Dark Reapers with an Exarch in each one. 2 units of Dark Reapers. Exarch is tricked out with fast shot Eldar missile launcher. Awesome setup for that. Over here I've got Eldrad with 5 Dire Avengers. I've got 5 Fire Dragons in here. I've got 10 Banshees in here. Haven't used these guys in a while. I'm just trying to play with all kinds of wacky stuff now. And I've got 10 Dire Avengers inside here. And we got 5 objectives. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And my opponent can try to steal initiative if he wants. So you need a dice.
That'd be awesome.
Alright, so can he steal it?
No.
No, he doesn't steal it, so Eldar is going first. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, so rounding up, top of turn 1 for Eldar. Fortune on these guys. Successful. There is a hidden librarian inside there, but he was just about 1.5 inches away from me, so I got my powers off. Guided on this vehicle. This thing moved back a few inches. And then what happened, this thing flew out over here a little bit, flew out over here. This thing was out of range to fire at the librarian. We saw it through the window, but we couldn't get long range on him. Shooting from this, shooting from that, shooting from these guys, all into that vehicle there. We immobilized it, blew off its gun, and made it so it can't shoot, but nothing else. We just didn't get a lot of good rolls on the damage chart when they finally got through. And then these guys over here, with Exarch, fired in, they saw a sliver of that guy, managed to make it so he just can't shoot. Got a couple penetrations on him, but they were both saved by cover. And that was it. I forgot to mention the Terminators are deep striking, so we're going to wait for turn 2 to see where they go. Okay, and back in a bit with bottom of turn 1 for Space Marines. Rounding up bottom of turn 1 for Space Marines. What happened? Army moved up over here. This wing kind of moved forward. Those guys were stuck inside the vehicle. They decided to stay where they are for now. This vehicle couldn't shoot, but it crushed through the difficult terrain there and made it all the way out there, popped smoke. Some shooting in here. Our orbital bombardment tried to drop on these guys, but scattered away. Some shooting on this guy, but his cover saves held. Shooting on this guy, but wasn't able to penetrate. Big story of the turn, though, was a couple of missiles from that little whirlwind guy over there. Landed in here, and it was 5 wounds. I was forced to put one on the Exarch, and I had fortune, and it didn't matter as I lost the Exarch and one of my guys. 3+ rerollable saves failed for my Exarch. So that really sucked there. These guys are basically just like infantry killers now. And that was it, so we're on to top of turn 2, coming right up. Okay, rounding up, top of turn 2, what happened, fortune on these guys, fortune on those guys, succeeded, and guide on here. Not a great turn, I fired this vehicle, that vehicle, these guys, all into that one that popped smoke, and I didn't actually get very many penetrations or glances at all. I think I got 1 total, or I can't remember what happened there. Over here, we fired into here, Bright Lance hits, but didn't do anything. And then these guys over here, the only stroke of luck is they fired back at the whirlwind that killed their Exarch, and he managed to explode it. A single penetration got through, exploded him, and that was it. So a little bit of luck there after not such great shooting, but back. Okay, here we go. So rounding up, I think it's bottom of turn 2. What happened over here? An incredibly disastrous turn, as I think a couple of piddly shots from that guy wrecked this guy. So be it. But then these guys got pinned. Another single shot from actually this auto cannon here fired on the Falcon. 2 6s, and Holofields didn't do anything as it got wrecked, and then these guys got pinned, and Eldrad is part of that unit. So just unbelievable, disastrous bad luck. I was playing well, and all of a sudden I got punished for it, but gonna have to try to come back from that. What else happened? I think that was it. The entire shooting was just based around that, just firing lots of guns at these guys. The fact that these are pinned is unbelievably disastrous, though. Unbelievably disastrous. That just ruins my game, but we'll see if I can come back from that. Okay, rounding up, top of turn 3. Still not a great turn. So these idiots are pinned. These idiots and Eldrad are pinned by some unbelievable bad luck. Flew over here and fired missile into there. Managed to penetrate, but only got mover shoot. This thing flew flat out over here. I've decided to give up this side of the board completely after this disaster. I have to just coalesce my army together. These guys, the Exarch managed to get some shots in there, some glancing from the other guys, managed to also make it so he's immobilized. And then these guys tried to help out on that guy, but couldn't really do much. So he's just immobilized, he can't move or shoot. But the turret's still there, the guys are still inside, Stern Guard in there. And that's it. So let's see. We're on to the next turn. We're going to see if the Terminators show up this turn. They didn't show up turn 2. Yeah, the Terminators are in, and you got some kind of scout squad. They finally show up as well. So Terminators and the scout squad also show up. So we're going to see what happens. So rounding up bottom of turn 3. So what happened here, these guys showed up from this side. They decided to pop out and gun into here. And mercifully, they only killed one guy, but Eldrad took a wound. So I spared a guy there. 4 missiles from those guys into here. Nuked away 5 guys. Another guy died, I think, from the Land Raider tried firing in here. They made their leadership, though. They're down to 4. The Exarch is dead. He took 1 wound, and he couldn't make a single 3+ save, so he's just toast. All my gear on these guys is dead now. So be it, though. That's the way it goes when you're getting shot up. I think that guy couldn't shoot. They stayed inside there. Terminators teleported over here, landed about 2 inches there, and only ran 1 extra inch. So they're slowly making their way towards stuff. Stern Guard are still chilling in here. They're just chilling it out, waiting for stuff. And that's it. We're going to on to turn 4 now. We're going to see what we can do. Eldrad can finally use some powers, this big idiot. So he might be useful now. Okay, the disasters just continue to pile on for the Eldar. Turn 4. Let me just tell you what happened here. So Fortune, his unit, guided them, doomed these guys, and what ended up happening? So we fired these guys and these guys in here, and there's still one of these 5 troopers still alive, just because of my disastrously bad luck. I even had to fire one of these twin-link missiles. He's doomed, right? So if I hit him, he's almost guaranteed to die. And I missed with both twin-link shots. Just absolutely ridiculous. These guys popped out over here, melted into there, only 2 meltas hit, only blew away a gun, and then made it so he can't move or shoot. I fired these guys into there too, just blew away his other gun, so he's literally one thing away from being wrecked. These guys had to pop out. They couldn't assault there, so I just ran them into the area train, and those guys that were here went into that transport. So it's just a total disaster that this thing didn't crack open, and this piece of crap over here is still alive. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to keep fighting. Yeah, okay, let's round it up here. We're gonna have to end the game because my opponent has to go pick up his kids, which is pretty important and worthwhile endeavor to skip out on Warhammer 4. What happened? Just disasters continued though. These guys managed to get in range of charging that guy, wrecked him. This shooting over here, 5 guys insta-killed from some heavy flamer that apparently this guy can carry around with a stern guard. And then I failed 4 out of 5 saves, cover saves there, so that didn't matter. Over here, 6 saves, regular saves made from just some crappy guns here, and I failed 5 of them, instantly die there, so I just cannot make any saves. Over here, made some saves from some shooting, heavy flamer. So be it, though. This is contested. That is fighting out over there, and we're just gonna have to call it over here. But we're gonna call it a tie. But a really tough game. Looked good for me at the beginning, and then it just went away from me. But thanks for the game.
I'm sorry that we didn't play all the way through.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I understand, man. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much. Take care.